Hi, everybody. Today we are answering the question posed by caregivers. Are your emotions holding you back from doing whatever it is you want to do, be that caregiving or some other goal or dream that you have? So many times in caregiving, we live in this world of emotions that can include positive things and not so positive things like stress, worry, or feeling held back from pursuing your dreams and your hopes. So in this video, I am going to share 8 concerns and 8 solutions for how to get out of this mental loop of worry and indecision where your emotions are holding you back. If you are a caregiver trying to balance life between a job and school and your family and caring for a loved one, be that a sibling, a grandparent, a parent, a spouse, or maybe even yourself, you may feel like days and weeks and months go by and you feel like you've accomplished absolutely nothing. So the goal of this video is to help you look at the emotions that you're feeling and to figure out how these might be holding you back so that you can move forward personally and professionally, because it is important to pay attention to how you use your time as a caregiver. You may be constantly busy, but the things that you are doing may not be contributing to your well-being or moving you forward in life. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. I am a caregiving expert and advocate who offers education, information, hope, and inspiration to caregivers and really people of any age who are experiencing health difficulties and challenges. I do this here on my YouTube channel and on my website, PamelaDWilson.com. Please click below. Click the button to like this video and follow my channel. And I do ask you to post your comments, your thoughts, your experiences below. I respond to every single comment. This helps these videos reach more people like you who are looking for a little bit of hope, help, support, and some knowledge. So, number 1 on the list of how emotions can hold us back is really a very simple one that we all experience at one time or another. And it's the idea of self-doubt. So the degree to which we doubt our abilities depends on our life experiences. It's different for you and me and another person and 1,000 other people out there, because self-doubt can come from our experiences in life beginning at childhood that carry all the way through where we are today. So any of us at any time may doubt our skills. Maybe we feel like we don't have enough education to do something that we want. We don't look like everybody else. We're shy. We may have difficulty meeting new people or even carrying on a conversation. So how do you erase all of this self-doubt and make sure that self-doubt doesn't impact your ability or hold you back from living the best life that you can? Now, let's look at how self-doubt happens, right? So did you grow up in a family where your mom or your dad or maybe your siblings discouraged you from doing things or even trying new things? Maybe you were the first person in your family who decided to go to college and your siblings were saying, oh, that's not going to make a difference. Don't go do that. Or maybe you're the only one that has a stable job and everybody else is struggling, right? So you kind of feel like the odd one out, but you're actually the odd one who took a risk and succeeded and are doing something with your life, which is a good thing. So in life, in relationships, in conversations, there are always people who are going to say, that's not going to work out. You can't do that. Why would you want to do that? So if you put this into context, what you want to think about is that other people may be saying that, like, why would you want to do that? Because maybe they've tried something and it didn't work out for them. Or look at yourself. Have you ever discouraged somebody from doing anything? If you did that, Why would you do that? Why would you not want to say, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. I think you should go for it. Go for it. Be positive. What I find is that people who discourage others do this because of their fears and their insecurities and maybe their low self-esteem. They may be afraid if they encourage you that you'll fail. Well, that failure would be on you and not them, right? Or they may be afraid that if you go do something, if you go to college or you take this job, you're going to move away and you're going to forget about them and you will be out of their life. So there can be a lot of motivations for why people support us and lift us up, and a lot of motivations on why people want to have us be the same or pull us down or discourage us, right? Sometimes any of us can focus more on what we can lose versus opportunities and what we have to gain. And so to move through all of this worry and doubt and how your emotions can hold you back, you want to focus on the positive and the opportunities. So how do you get rid of self-doubt? You have to do this by just starting little things and accomplishing little things. So make a list and start checking things off your list that you do. And they can just be small accomplishments like, oh my gosh, I remembered to get up this morning and do these 3 things. And after work, I wanted to do these 2 things. And you know what? I did it. I accomplished it. So what happens? You feel better about yourself and your confidence levels raise and you think, wow, I can do more than I thought I could do. Congratulations. Number 2 on the list of how worries and emotional aspects can hold us back is the idea of age, right? You're either too young, or maybe you feel like you're too old to do something that you've wanted to do and you're only 50 and you feel like life has passed you by. Forget about that. Age is a number that comes from your birth certificate or that comes from your driver's license. Now, if you're a caregiver or a person with health issues, it's likely that you may have health issues because the likelihood of having a chronic disease builds at age 30 and 40 and 50. But that doesn't mean that you have to be defined by what we call getting old or aging, right? Here's the pros and the cons, right? And we'll be honest about this because you can be healthy one day and all of a sudden diagnosed with high blood pressure or high cholesterol or cancer the next day. If you have aging parents, maybe they were healthy one day and the next day they had a fall, they fell down a bunch of steps, ended up in the hospital with a broken hip, have hip surgery, and they're recovering from that. But the best advice that I can give you to make age a non-starter or just something that you don't even have to consider is to realize the impact of good health and age. So when you're young, when we're all young, we're so healthy and we never have health problems and we feel like we're strong and we can just do anything, right? But the older we get, 30s, 40s, 50s, it's important to realize that we do have to work to put some effort in to maintain our health and our physical strength. Because as I mentioned, health can fail at any time. Being physically weak or frail can result in injuries. Older people who are physically weak may not get out and walk a lot. They are more fall prone. They're more prone to breaking bones. And injuries can also happen for caregivers too. So let's say that you're helping mom or dad bathe or you help them get up out of a chair. You can injure your back in a heartbeat, or you can even injure the person that you're caring for if you try to stop them from falling and you grab them and then you both go down, right? So health really is a lot of what we do every day. It's how we eat. It's whether we exercise. It's whether we do anything to build our strength. And honestly, the way to do that is exercising, which a lot of people don't want to do. So think about health and exercise as being something positive that you can do so that you can raise your self-esteem and be less torn by emotional aspects of having to worry about health or having to worry about, whether you're going to be able to do something. You're strong, you're healthy, you're able. So don't let your age hold you back from anything that you want to accomplish. And like in number 1, rid yourself of the self-doubt about age, right? Some people think, well, older people aren't good at technology or they can't use computers. Well, forget that. Take steps to keep your skills up to date in this constantly changing world. That may mean scheduling 15 minutes every single day to check in on the news to find out what's going on. Or maybe you're going to devote 15 minutes to learn a work skill or do a hobby that you want to explore. Listening to podcasts can be a great way to learn. Many of you know that I have a podcast. It's called The Caring Generation. All the episodes are here on my YouTube channel. I think I'm going to be hitting about 180 episodes this week or next week. And on that podcast, I answer questions caregivers ask. So do look for The Caring Generation. It's on all the popular apps, Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, probably 20 apps all around the world. Number three. Another way to stop your emotions from holding you back is to close the door on yesterday and start every day like a clean slate, like a blank slate of what you want to accomplish in the next 24 hours. Live in the present. All you have is right now. Imagine that each day is a new blackboard or a new whiteboard and you get to create it because you have this power to come up with, what am I going to accomplish today? Oh my gosh, I could accomplish great things. And at the end of the day, look at what you did, check them off, and feel more confident about your abilities. At the end of that day, create your blackboard list or your whiteboard list of what you're going to accomplish tomorrow and just keep going. Now, this leads to number 4. If you are a caregiver or really anybody who has a lot going on and you have a lot of worries and you're distracted, sometimes we just get in these mental loops where we don't get anything done, right? Where we're worried about this and we're getting distracted about this and we're just going in a million directions. Well, what that does is it makes it impossible to focus on what you want to get done today or even to create goals. So if you don't have a list of goals and hopes and dreams, make a list, write it down. Look at that list every single day. And even more importantly, don't let your mind tell you that you can't do this or that, oh, I've got to do these other 10 things before I can work on myself or do something for myself. You are your project. You are what you have to do. Number 5, stop procrastinating. It is so easy to put things off until tomorrow or next week or next month. And then the time goes by and we're like, what did I get done? I got done nothing. Why do we procrastinate? It's because we imagine that something is going to be too hard, be too difficult, take too much time. We don't know how to do it, so we don't know how to get started. The only way to stop procrastinating is to find a way to just take one step forward and then the next and the next and the next. Don't let your mind get so distracted that it takes you off track. And if you're procrastinating, what story are you telling yourself about why you can't do this thing? Are you afraid of something? Are you lacking confidence? Are you telling yourself the story that I'm not good enough and I can't do this and everybody will look at me silly if I want to do this? Well, forget about everybody else. Choose to tell yourself a different story about what you can do and when you're going to do it. Choose positive thoughts and encouraging thoughts. Be kind to yourself. Number 6 follows on this idea of procrastination. And it's getting rid of the obstacles, right? Well, I can't do it because, I don't have a car and I can't get here. Well, take a bus. Find another way to get there. Walk. I can't do it because I don't think I can do it. Well, then your mindset and what you think up here are obstacles that you are allowing to block you from getting what you want. So start asking, what are the obstacles? Is it my mindset? Do I think I can't do this? Well, if you think you can't do it, you're not going to be able to do it. If you think you can, you will. Are the people that you spend time with your obstacles? Do they discourage you and tell you that you can't do things? Is a lack of skills or knowledge or a little bit of education an obstacle? If so, figure out what that is, find a way to get it, and just go do it. Identify the obstacles that hold you back. Choose to change this story that impacts your future. We all have stories of why we choose not to do something or why we can't. And this means that it's super important to pay attention to our thoughts, pay attention to what you think up here, the words that come out of your mouth, the thoughts, your stories that you tell other people, and the stories that you tell yourself. The stories can be as simple as, oh my gosh, I don't have time. I can't do this. It's too much work. It's going to be hard. I don't know how I'm going to get all this done. So instead of saying that to yourself, think about the times that you actually accomplish something. Oh, you know what? This may take a little bit of time, but I'm going to get it done and I'm going to move on to the next thing. Or compartmentalize the time that you're doing something. You know what? I'm going to contribute 25 minutes to this and I'm going to get it done and I'm not going to think of anything else. I'm not going to let anybody distract me. I'm just going to check it off my list. It's so important to remember that you can do these things and to set time frames, because when you set a time frame, you are more than likely to accomplish a task in a certain period of time versus if you don't say, oh, I'm going to get this done by Friday, or I'm going to have this done by 6 o'clock today, or it's just on my list and I don't know when I'm going to get it done. Number 7 is looking at what I call traditional gender roles. And this can be specific to men, women, anybody of any age. So women can feel stuck in gender roles like, I'm supposed to get married and have children and be a good wife. Well, what about I'm a woman and I want to have a career and gosh, if I get married, that would be a bonus. If I have kids, that might be a bonus. Marriage and children are optional. I don't have to do that because everybody else tells me that I should, right? Men, same thing. They can fall into these traditional gender roles of having to be the provider for the family or not being able to show your emotions if you're a man. There may be this thought that only women can be emotional and nurturing, and they should not be strong and powerful like men. Or another one, nursing is a job only for women. I know a lot of male nurses. Household tasks and raising children don't always need to fall on women. Men can do that too. So we get all these ideas in our head about gender roles. And I will say that breaking out of gender roles can be a challenge, especially if your culture, your family, your friends, your peers, and the society that you live in fence you in to say, this is what you must do. Well, ask the question, why is that what I must do? Why can't I go be an astronaut or be a president of a corporation or be an Olympian? Why can't I? If you believe you can, you will find a way. Number 8, which can help with all of these 7 previous ideas, is to find somebody who believes in you or to be around people who are focused and motivated and making progress in their lives and who support you and say, go do this thing. Go do what you want to do instead of telling you that you can't do it. Think about anybody in your life who believed in you and encouraged you to do something and remember that inspiration. Because I'll tell you, it can be really hard to put yourself out there when you have all these people saying, you can't do that, it's not going to work, or maybe you see somebody who's accomplished great things and you think, oh, I'm never going to get there. Well, if you don't start, you are never going to get there. Forget about all those times when you didn't feel like you were enough, or maybe you didn't get that job, or the boy that you liked in school didn't ask you to a dance. Instead, think about the times when good things happen. Remind yourself of those good and amazing things every day so that you can create more good and amazing things. Stop allowing situations and other people to tell you the story of your life. Start creating your own story. Start creating your own beliefs and consistent behaviors. The story is whether you believe you can or you can't, because that's what's going to happen. If you believe you can't, you're already defeated. If you believe you can move forward. And if you're having difficulty achieving something that you want to do, again, go back, look at those obstacles. What gaps do you need to fill in your education? Or maybe you need to focus more on health or relationships, or whatever it is. Identify the gaps, close the gaps, get rid of those obstacles, check them off your list. Tell yourself a totally different story about what you can do. And so the way that this relates to caregiving is you don't have to give up your life to be a caregiver for somebody else. Inspire them to be healthier. Inspire them to do things. Inspire them to be more positive. Inspire them to go out and still live, regardless of whether they're 70, 80, or 90, and don't start taking away things that they can do, right? Because this whole emotional trap is damaged by a lack of confidence and a lack of self-esteem and feeling we cannot do things. As caregivers, encourage the people that you care for that they can do things. Motivate them to exercise, motivate them to eat better, motivate them to fill whatever gaps are in their life related to health and well-being. All of you will be much better off for it. So stop the emotions that are holding you back. Recognize them, change your story, change what you're going to do every day, set goals, put timelines on them, make your life better. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. I am a caregiving expert, advocate, speaker. Thank you so much for being here. Again, please click below to like this video, like my channel, follow my channel, comment so that more people find these videos. Go over to my website, PamelaDWilson.com. There is a lot of hope, help, and support there. Have a fabulous day today. I look forward to seeing you all again soon in another video.